Hey guys, today we're gonna do a lens battle between a cheap, old $100 lens versus a brand new, top of the line $1,000 lens. Why might you ask? Well, I wanna show you guys the possibilities of using older, more affordable lenses with your camera, especially if you're on a tight budget, to get a unique, interesting look. We'll dive into the image quality between the two, and honestly, I think you guys are gonna be really surprised at the results.
In the first corner, we have the Canon 135mm f2 prime lens, and it is a hunky piece of glass. It's a really beautiful sight to see even for its age. And what I love about the old Canon FD manual focus lenses is that they have excellent optics, they're affordable, and you can find them everywhere. Flea markets, garage sales, and online auctions. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the heck am I going to attach this to my camera? I've got a brand new Canon DSLR, a Nikon, a Sony, a Fuji, whatever. Well, the good news is that you can buy a really cheap adapter for your camera, which allows you to marry the old lens to your new camera and get beautiful photos. If you're not sure which adapter to get, I'll put links to all my recommended adapters for all the camera brands down below. Now, the bad news is that you lose a lot of the automatic features and functions of your camera. So not only do you have to manually focus, but you also have to set the exposure manually using manual mode. No worries though, I actually have a manual mode recipe that I put together, and I'll put a link to it down in the description below. And in the other corner, we have the Fuji 56mm f1.2 prime lens, and this is Fuji's flagship portrait lens. It is a thing of beauty, it's crafted well, it's super sharp, it produces beautiful bokeh, and best of all, with a lens that is compatible with your camera, you retain all of the automatic features and functions. All right, so let's dive in and take a look at some photos. Now, last week, I got the unique opportunity to take some senior portraits of my younger sister, Summer, and it was a totally surreal experience because when I was graduating, she was only 1 year old. And fast forward 17 years, here she is. She's graduating this week. Super proud of her. And this was a great experience for me to test both lenses side by side to compare the looks and see how they do. Now, before I tell you the lens that I used, I'm gonna show you 6 photos. The first 3 were taken with one lens, and the last 3 were taken with another. So let's go ahead and cycle through these. Now that you've seen the photos, here are the results. The first 3 photos were taken with the $1,000 Fuji 56mm prime lens. The last 3 photos were taken with the Canon 135mm f2 prime lens. Both lenses have their own unique characteristics, but overall, I really liked the photos coming from this very old manual focus prime lens. Here's a side-by-side comparison. The photo here on the left was taken with the $1,000 Fuji prime lens, and the photo here on the right was taken with the $100 Canon prime lens. Right out of the gate, I would just say that the photo on the right is the one I prefer, mostly because that background is nice and compressed, it's really smooth, it really makes her pop off the background. Now let's go ahead and dive into the details here. If we zoom in, you can see that relative sharpness between both lenses is very similar. I think that if we were to even zoom in just a little bit farther, you would see maybe just a tad more sharpness here in the dress and in the hair, but all in all, without splitting hairs, I would say that the Canon did an amazing job, especially when we're comparing it here to a much more expensive lens. Now, I don't know about you, but as long as you're cool with working manually and using manual focus, the older Canon FD prime lenses are a fantastic value. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and here's a little behind the scenes.
But the years go by My friendship will never die. That didn't happen.